We tend to frame AI either as a threat to employment or a tool for efficiency. But what if the scariest thing about AI is not that it's faster than us, but it can reveal what is really happening in our relationships, in our teams? Who is unheard? Who is overloaded? Where tension is building? Where conflict is already emerging even before anyone talks about it? And if we could see those patterns earlier, could we stop escalation, build better collaboration, and help teams thrive? What if the technology that we fear as cold, hard, emotionless could actually help us develop the most human skills we have? That is the paradox at the heart of my research. I don't study AI mainly as a tool for automation. I study AI as a mirror for teams. A way of helping teams see not only what they do, but how they actually function together. How roles are distributed, how participation flows, how support is given, how emotions influence collaboration, and how small frictions or imbalances grow into much bigger problems over time. This mirror is what we call the digital team twin. And the question behind my research is simple. How can AI help us become better at being human together? That question matters especially now because uncertainty changes what teams need from people. In stable conditions, routines, expertise, and efficiency may be enough. But in uncertain conditions, teams need something more human. Adaptability, creativity, judgment, trust, honest communication, and the ability to work through tensions together. And we may have completely missed the soft side of AI. We often imagine AI as cold, hard, emotionless, maybe threatening, something that calculates, optimizes, and replaces. But what if AI could do something much more surprising than automate tasks? What if it could help us become better teammates, better listeners, better collaborators, more self-aware, more emotionally intelligent? What if the technology that we fear as cold could actually help us become most human that we are? That is the possibility we currently explore with AI-based methods like the digital team twin. When people hear a term digital twin, they often think of machines, factories, or engineering systems, something technical, mechanical, something hard. But we are interested in a very different kind of a twin. Not a twin of a machine, but a twin of a team. A dynamic representation of how a team works together, not just what it produces or whether deadlines are met, but how trust develops, how stress accumulates, or conflicts emerge, how support is given or not given, how the human side of teamwork actually unfolds. And I believe this matters deeply because the biggest challenges in teams today are not technical, they are relational. Teams don't usually fail because nobody is smart enough. They fail because people stop listening, because tensions go underground, or because one person carries too much and another quietly disengages. Because nobody says the difficult thing early enough, and the team becomes emotionally clumsy in situations that would require emotional intelligence. So perhaps The challenge is not the AI itself, it's whether we will develop the human skills we need to thrive alongside it. And that is why I believe that AI's most important role may not be to replace human capability, but to help us to develop it. I believe the skills becoming most valuable are precisely the ones that are hardest to automate. Emotional intelligence, self-awareness, judgment, taste, collaboration, and the ability to work through complexity with other people. So while the technology is advancing, human capability is becoming more important, not less. But there is a problem. The skills we need most now are the hardest to recognize and measure. You can measure outputs, you can count tasks, you can track speed, but how do you see who feels unsafe? Who is quietly withdrawing? Who is free-riding? Who is never heard? Who keeps repairing the atmosphere after tension and holds the whole team together? These are the real dynamics of teamwork. And they are exactly the dynamics that most organizations miss. And this is where AI may become powerful, because it can make the invisible more visible. It can help teams reflect on questions like, who is really doing what in this team? Where are we overloading certain people? Where are we mistaking silence for agreement? Or are we repeatedly creating friction without understanding why? High emotional intelligence matters especially now because younger generations increasingly want work that is not only productive, but what is meaningful, developmental, and human. They want feedback, growth, support. They want to be seen. So imagine the shift if AI could help teams to do exactly that, not by scoring people or reducing them to labels, but by helping teams understand how different people contribute, what kind of roles fit to them, and where collaboration is being strengthened or undermined by bad leadership. And the core skill is to learn self-awareness. And I think self-awareness can be the bridge between AI and human growth. The hard truth is that many of us don't see our own effect on other people very clearly. Teams don't see their own patterns very clearly. Or leaders don't see the emotional consequences that their behavior may put on others before these consequences come too expensive. And this is why soft skills are so difficult. We call them soft, but they are not soft at all. They are the hardest skills. Hardest to observe, hardest to measure, to teach, and to lead. And why is that? Because they are relational, contextual, and dynamic, and often invisible until they break down. It is easy to say whether a code is or a spreadsheet is correct, but it's much harder to say when a team has become emotionally unsafe. It is easy to measure somebody's attention in meetings, but it's much harder to see who stopped caring 3 months ago. So there is another paradox. The skill we call soft is often the hardest to build. And our research investigates where AI can help. Not because AI has feelings, but because AI can help us notice the patterns around these feelings. For example, pattern of silence, patterns of exclusions, patterns of interruption, and patterns of conflict that keep repeating under different names. We study how AI could help teams reflect on those patterns before they become crises. And that brings me to the conflict, one of my dearest research topics. Most conflicts do not begin with drama. They begin quietly. One person prefers directness, while other person sees that as aggression. And one person wants speed, another wants caution. One values autonomy, another sees that as a disengagement. One challenges openly, another shuts down. At first, this might look like a small mismatch, but if nobody reflects on it, this mismatch can escalate as a conflict. So what if we could intervene earlier? What if teams could see those patterns before they become personal? What if instead of asking who is difficult, we could ask, what dynamics are we repeatedly creating together? And that question changes everything. It moves teams from blame to reflection. And that is one of the use cases of AI that I feel very exciting. Can we use AI to help prevent conflicts before escalation, making these emerging tensions discussable at the level of process and not personality? It could help a team see that, hey, we keep concentrating on decisions among two people, or we keep overloading certain person with coordination tasks, or we keep turning disagreements into threat. Those are not just observations, they are openings. Openings for better reflection, better role design, better support, better team process. And that kind of a reflection builds collective emotional intelligence as team capability. That is the future I'm interested in. A future where AI helps teams become better, not only at executing, but relating. Not only at deciding, but understanding. Not only at performing, but caring. So let me leave you with this. Will we use AI only to optimize what we do, or also to deepen who we become together? Thank you.